Now, disgraceful it's been called. The Ministry of Defence evicting dozens of families from homes with just 2 months' notice. Now, we have MOD homes all over the country, and of course, as you know, there's been a significant reduction in the number of people serving in our armed forces over the last 14 years, and so many of these properties are put out for lets. And the particular camp we're talking about here is Borden, which is down on the Surrey-Hampshire borders. And Colin and Coryne Hall are tenants who are being evicted with a very, very short notice period. And I think they're pretty upset about it. Give us your story, folks, please.
Good evening, Nigel.
Good evening, Nigel.
2 weeks ago, we had 2 brown envelopes plop on our door, on our floor, which were eviction notices for 2 months' notice. Out of the blue, we didn't know anything about this coming up. Couldn't believe it. Absolutely devastated. I'm 78. My wife, Coryne, here is 74. Stricken with arthritis myself. Coryne's got her health problems. But we weren't the only ones. There were other people, at least 10 other families down the road, and lots more around the area and in the country, as you so rightly say. It's just absolutely devastating, and we really don't know what to do, quite honestly. There's no places around here we could go to. We don't feel up to, at our age, we certainly don't feel up to moving around much at all.
No.
There's families with young children along the road, Nigel, who are also being evicted. They're not evicting the service personnel, the few 2 or 3 families of service personnel. It's a non-service personnel like us and the people down the road who've got young children who they're trying to chuck out.
Yeah.
And who will be taking this accommodation? Because you're not the first MOD housing complex this has happened to. So who is going to be moving into these houses?
Well, we don't know. I mean,
there is history here.
There is history here between you and me and the gatepost. Perhaps I daren't mention it, but we do worry.
Mention it.
Immigrants.
Yeah, well, I think the word that would be used would be either refugees or asylum seekers, but you're absolutely right. That is what is going on in your case. I'm 90% certain of it, and it's happening in many parts of the country as huge numbers of people come to the UK, and we feel an obligation to house them. What is your next step going to be, folks?
We've been to the solicitor. We've taken legal advice. Basically, we just had an initial meeting. We really don't know what to do. Neighbours have been to estate agents in the area and there's nothing available.
Yeah, absolutely nothing around here.
And, you know...
What do you do? I've got a publishing contract. I've got to actually get 90,000 words to my publisher by Christmas. I mean, this is history, Imperial Russian history. And it's not something that you can knock off in 5 minutes. I've got 2 bedrooms here full of an archive. How are we going to move all that in 5 minutes? You know,
Colin and Coryne, I absolutely understand your frustration and you're upset, and I feel even sorrier for those down the road with young kids, because what a nightmare they're facing.
Yeah, I mean, that's tragic for them as well.
Yeah, awful. But thank you.
Right.
But thank you for coming on and sharing. No, I get it. Thank you for coming on and sharing your story with us.